Hello chess lovers, I have a very beautiful game for you played by Aron Reshko against Vadim Faibisovich. The game was played in 1969 in Leningrad. Reshko started with c4, English opening, g6 by Faibisovich, knight c3, c5, g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, knight c6. We see the symmetrical variation e4, d6, d3, knight f6. Both players are developing their pieces. We see castling by both sides, a6. Now black will try to organize an advancement on the queen side. h3, taking under control this g4 square. At some point white can place the king on h2 square and is preparing f4. Rook b8, f4, knight e8, opening up the bishop's diagonal, and black is planning to place the knight on d4 square. Bishop e3, knight d4, queen d2, and there it goes, we see b5. Rook e1, b4, b-pawn marches forward once again, knight d1, but the b-pawn is unstoppable. This time we see b3. Bishop takes d4, but instead of recapturing, black captured on a2, threatening to promote the pawn to a queen. And now on the surface it looks like that white should play, for example, knight c3 or knight f2 in order to stop this pawn. But in this position, Aron Reshko came up with a shocking decision. He captured on g7 and allowed black to promote the pawn to a queen, and we see that the third queen appears on the board. And instead of capturing on f8, he placed the bishop on c3 square. Actually, this is the strongest continuation. White evaluates this dark square bishop higher than this poor rook. Later, white is going to exploit the weaknesses of dark squares. If we have a look at the position, white got two pieces against the queen. Let's see, is that enough to win the game? Queen a4, f5. White is now organizing a dangerous attack. f6, blocking the bishop's path, but now comes the queen. Queen h6. e5, which is weakening black's position too much. Actually, placing the rook on f7 and giving up a pawn on g6 would have been better. The position is equal, but instead after queen h6 we see e5, and white is capturing en passant. Bishop takes e6, knight f4. More forces are joining the attack. Bishop f7, here comes the second knight, knight e3, queen d7, knight g4, rook b3, but now comes the knight, knight h5. White pieces are just eyeballing on this f6 square. Bishop e6. Well, actually accepting the sacrifice and capturing on h5 would have been better, though after knight takes f6 check, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6, both threatening mate in one, also attacking the queen on d8. If bishop g6, then bishop takes d8, queen takes d8, e5. White has a huge advantage and a very dangerous attack. Though I have to repeat once again that this continuation would have been better for black, but after knight h5 we see bishop e6. And we see this beautiful tactical shot, rook takes f6. Look at this, what's going on? Now if knight takes f6, then after the exchange on f6 square, in the end of the day white has an extra piece. But after rook takes f6, black played queen e7 and resigned. But let's see, how can white proceed the attack? Actually, white can sacrifice the rook on g6. Now if f takes g6, then black king can easily get checkmated. But what if after rook takes g6, black plays knight g7? Now white can capture on g7, there is too much pressure on g7. If king f7, then knight f6. If h takes g6, then bishop takes f8. Now if queen takes f8, then black king is getting checkmated. Or if queen takes f6, then this can prolong black's life, but again this is going to be winning. Let's have a quick look how black king can get checkmated. There it goes, bishop e4 check, and then queen takes g6 checkmate. Although after queen e7, black could still prolong the game and wait for this rook takes g6 sacrifice, but black resigned. A very unique game, I think. We could see that with two queens, black was unable to protect his king and white's aggression was just unstoppable. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave your comments. Good luck!